Hello, ma'am.
Hello. Okay, so we are back with the conflict management. Next topic
Yeah,
of
ma'am.
the okay, so in conflict management, what we did in the last class, you remember that?
I don't think so, ma'am. I don't remember.
You don't remember. Why so?
No, no, ma'am. I'm not able to remember that.
In the last session, we have discussed about the reasons of conflict at workplace, like why conflict happen at workplace. So what are the possible reasons according to you?
Ma'am, conflict may happens because first jealousy, first thing in an organization,
Yes,
then not getting paid on time.
that can be with the organization. So basically, there are different types of conflicts. It can be within
Okay,
the team, it can be with the manager, it can be with the
with the
organization, like
organization.
yes, it can be with the external clients. So conflicts are many different types of conflicts happen within the organization. So today we are going to discuss about types of conflicts. But why conflict happen? That can be because of poor communication, because of
Yeah.
sudden change in rules and regulations, your values, your ethics, your style, your way of working on basis of your perception. So there are many different ways due to which conflict at workplace happens. We are going to now today we are going to discuss about the types of conflicts. The first type of conflict is on basis of involvement. Involvement means when two or more people are working together, that is involvement. So conflict may be intrapersonal, interpersonal, or organizational. Three different types: interpersonal and intrapersonal. I know that is very much clear, like what is intrapersonal and what is interpersonal, only the terms. So intrapersonal is with yourself, conflict which happens with yourself only, not with any other person, not with any external person. It is you are into fight with yourself, that is intrapersonal. Second is
Yeah.
interpersonal. Interpersonal is amongst two individual or between two or more persons. That is interpersonal. And next is organizational. So conflict can be interpersonal, intrapersonal, and organization. Any type of conflict can happen in the organization. It can be with yourself, with an individual, and with the organization. Now you will say
Okay.
why with yourself? What type of conflicts you can have with yourself?
Feeling like lower confident, having a poor communication skill, lack of communication skill, then
That you cannot
feeling
have with yourself.
feeling inferior.
Feeling inferior. That is again not the conflict with yourself.
Ma'am, if you're feeling inferior, you'll be like struggling with yourself, like how to be like good, and you'll be like
You'll be
struggling to
struggling with,
yourself all the
yes,
time.
you will be telling to yourself that how you can be good, but how you are fighting. Conflict is how you are fighting with yourself. Your external body, how that external body is fighting with your internal soul, inner soul.
The pressure.
Pressure, yes. So pressure, we can say that you are unable to perform what exactly you were thinking.
Yeah.
You are inadequate to perform the task. Okay, that can be your interpersonal conflict. Then, so
And
basically a line between what you wanted and what you did, what you expected and what you got. The thin line between that is the intrapersonal conflict which you have with yourself. For example, you were expecting that in this project, I'll give my best. That was the inner soul which was saying that, yes, we are going to give the best, but your work couldn't give the best. So you start having conflict with yourself. That why? What was the reason? Why I couldn't give my best? Where I was lacking? That is the conflict with yourself. So that is intrapersonal conflict, and that also happened. In reality, maybe you might have never experienced or you might have never observed, but
Yeah.
in movies and series we have seen that inner soul is shown who is saying something, and our right, they argue with each
Um,
other, that
I,
we have
I
seen.
didn't hear you in between, ma'am.
Okay, so I was saying that in movies we have seen many times where people, inner soul of the person speaks something, outer soul speaks something else. Two
Yeah.
persons are having mismatch, or it can be the mirror image. In mirror you are standing, you are defending yourself and you are presenting yourself. That is the intrapersonal conflict which happens within the person from within, the inner soul. When inner soul questions you for something and you just want to defend yourself, that is intrapersonal conflict, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Organizational conflict is of two types. What are the two types of organizational conflict? Now, here we have discussed that on basis of involvement, three different persons are involved, three different things are involved, and that can lead to conflict. Now, third was organizational conflict. What is organizational conflict? It can be inter-organizational conflict. It can be intra-organizational conflict. Same as interpersonal, intrapersonal. Inter-organizational means the conflict occurring between two organizations.
Organizations.
Yes,
Yeah.
two different identities have conflict with each other. Intra-organizational conflict means
Ma'am,
conflict.
within the organization, like inside the people and the managers having.
Yes, inside the people with the management, and yes, that is
Yeah.
intra-organizational conflict. Next, interpersonal conflict can be divided. Now, again, interpersonal conflict is again divided into two different categories. That is intra-group and intergroup. Intra-group means between members of the group in within the team, and intergroup means between two different groups, two different units, two different teams, right? That is
Yeah.
intragroup. So everywhere there is always two terms, inter and intra, within or outside, within or
Yeah.
between. That is inter and intra. So on basis of involvement, on basis of the person involved in conflict, we can say that basically it is divided into three different broad categories. That is intrapersonal. So intrapersonal doesn't have any subpart. That is intrapersonal with conflict with yourself only. Second is interpersonal, which is again divided into two subheadings. That is intragroup and intergroup. So interpersonal can be within the team, that is intragroup. It can be with any other team, with any other group, with any other unit, that is intrapersonal. And next term is organization, the broad heading. And in organization, it is again divided into within the organization or between the organization. Now, what do you think between the organization, what type of conflicts can happen?
Um, the two organization, the marketing issues like strategies, ma'am,
Mm, strategies, see,
or
organization.
the profit and loss between the companies. Like if this year the like uh, generally how the like country lies between two organizations. Like one organization is like earning more, or it has some like personal issues or something with the other organizations.
Why that is going to cause a conflict between the organization?
Hmm. Ma'am, I will not give answer for this, ma'am. My brain is not
Think, think,
working, ma'am.
think. Think, you have to
My
think.
brain is not working, ma'am.
Okay, your brain will work after some time. Then I want you to answer this in the next session of conflict management. That what is inter-organization? What type of conflict can happen within two organizations, two different organizations?
Yeah,
Okay,
sure, ma'am.
you will have to find. You'll
Yeah.
find out the answer and you'll tell me in the next session. And I
Okay,
want
ma'am.
you to come up with the example. Always
Okay.
remember, when you are unable to explain the term, go with the examples. It becomes
Okay.
very easy to explain yourself, right? Okay, this
Yeah.
is on basis of involvement. The first type of conflict happen on basis of involvement of different persons, organization, or individual. Next, on basis of scope, conflicts can be substantive and effective. Substantive means substantive conflicts may be over the fact of situation, the method or means of achieving a solution to a problem, aims or goals or values. So this is substantive conflicts happen when two different people, two different groups, or people within the group are not ready to go with one set method, one specific solution which has been decided. They have conflict that one say this is not the best solution to the problem, other comes up with new solution, and there the conflict happens. Both of them are not ready to accept each other's solution. So the method or means of achieving, like the method which we adopt to achieve the solution is again one of the reason of conflict, or the goals or the values, the ethics which we have. Every individual have different goals and values. If
Yeah.
that comes in between their work, that is again a reason of substantive conflict. A substance exists, something is there, right? Next is affective conflict, deals with interpersonal relationship or incompatibilities and creates an emotion and frustration between parties. Their relations are not good, they are incompatible. Incompatible means their views and all those things generally doesn't match. They are affected with other person's views, other person's way of working, their emotion affect them. So this is again the second type of conflict on basis of scope, that is affective conflict. The frustration, we see frustration between parties, like they are not ready to work with each other. If they are being forced to work with each other, they just doesn't come up with the best solution, with the best outcome. That is because of the frustration they have. So it is effective conflict. So effective conflict deals with interpersonal relationship, incompatibilities, and the emotions and frustrations between the parties. So see, substantive was there was some solution, some problem, some goal which we were about to achieve, for which we were working, and on that conflict happened. Effective is related to yourself, that by an act of others you're getting effective. That is effective conflict. Conflict can include disagreements about factors such as meeting dates, time, individual tasks, group organization, leadership, method of resolving disagreement. So this type of conflict basically includes small small clashes, like when we are going to meet, at what time we are going to meet, who is going to perform this task, who should be assigned by this task, leadership, under which leadership or group organization we want to work, how we are going to solve the issues, how we are going to find the problem to the solution. So these are the reason why the conflict happens within the organization. It is within the organization, between the group of people working together in the same group, or maybe in different group. Like for example, there is a sale issue. Sale is not getting increased from a very long time. So conflict arises that marketing team is not good. Salespeople say that marketing is not going on good. Marketing team will say the product which is you are making, the packaging quality is not good. They might say that the salesperson are not good in selling the product. Right. So everyone is blaming other person, and that's why the conflict happens. They are fighting for the strategy used, the way the salesperson are presenting, are selling their product. So these are the reasons why conflict happen on basis of the scope. That is scope. There are two different scope. That is substantive and effective. Effective basically just understand the term effective. That means you as an individual are affected by act or work of some other person. That is effective conflict. Next, on basis of the result. It can be constructive, it can be destructive. Like results can be constructive, it can be destructive, creative or restricting, positive or negative. So there, these are the different types of results on basis of which the conflict enters within the organization. Now, how conflict is there in if there is positive or negative result? We keep on blaming other person for the result. Like it was because of this person that the results were not achieved. It was because of this person the results were not achieved. And if something positive happens, then we all come forward to say that yes, it was we who did this work. It is our hard work. It is my work. So that is the conflict happens for positive as well as negative results also. Now, if we talk about constructive and destructive results, destructive conflict are also known as difunctional conflict. Why? Because such conflicts prevents a group from attaining its goal. These type of conflict delays attainment of goal. They pushes the deadline of the goal because the way they were supposed to achieve the goal, that doesn't work. They started having conflict, they stopped the work. So this can be, for example, destructive conflict can be when all of sudden the group of people goes for a strike in the manufacturing department. So that is dysfunctional conflict, which is going to stop you from attaining your goal of production. This is destructive. It is causing destruction in the organization, huge losses, which the organization may have to bear if this conflict doesn't get resolved. Constructive conflict are known as functional conflict because they support the group goals and help in improving performances. Now, there are some of the conflicts which the people demand to give best, to perform best, to improve the performance. These are the positive conflicts. These are the creative conflicts. So we can say the constructive conflicts are the one which comes up with new creativity, which gives positive outcome. So adopting, solving those conflicts by supporting those ideas is definitely, ultimately, is going to improve the performance of the organization only. So we have on basis of result, what are the different types of conflicts? It is constructive and destructive. Constructive are the positive conflicts, creative conflicts. By adopting this, by solving these conflicts, you get improved performance. But destructive conflicts are the dysfunctional conflicts which may result in negative results, which may stop you from attaining your goals and objectives of the organization. It can delay your work, it can cause you financial losses also when this destructive conflict enters in the organization. So this destructive conflict should be controlled as soon as you get to know that this is about to start. This conflict is starting. This conflict has evolved in the organization. Now, on basis of sharing by group. Now, here again, it can be distributive, it can be integrative. Now, what is distributive conflict? It is it is approached as a distribution of a fixed amount of positive outcomes or resources, where one side will end up winning and the other losing, even if they do not do win some consciousness. So distributive conflict is the conflict on distribution of some resources, some outcomes, some projects, some work. So here it can be a winning situation for one, and other will definitely lose. For example, you all are fighting for a meeting room. Two teams, they are supposed to conduct the meeting. Only one meeting room is free, and both the teams are fighting for that meeting. So this is distributive conflicts. Whom to give that resource? Whom to give that meeting room? Now, the one who will get that meeting room will be in the winning side, and the other will be in the losing side, even if they do win some consciousness. Even if they are winning something, still, if they don't get the ultimate resource, they'll be on the losing side. Integrative conflict is a chance to integrate the need and concern of both group and then make the best possible outcome. Here, it's not win-win, win-lose, lose-lose situation from for either of the party. They discuss, they talk to each other, they check that what's the need for both of them, what are their concern, if they want the meeting room, like for which meeting they want, is the whose meeting is on priority, or whose meeting is going to take longer duration, whose meeting is going to take shorter duration. So they just see those needs, see the concern, check on them, and then they find the best possible outcome to get the thing resolved. So it is ideally going to be winning situation for both of them, because mutually they have decided that yes, who is going to take the room first and who is going to take the room after the first group finishes of the meeting. So this is integrated conflict. Distribution simply means you have to distribute that resource, you have to distribute that work, so it is going to make one person win and other person lose. That is what is going to happen. But in integrative, they check the need, they check the concern of the group, and then they come to the best possible outcome or best possible solution for getting the work done. So this is distributive and integrative conflict on basis of sharing of group. Why sharing of group word is used? Because here basically they are sharing something, right? They are sharing the resources, they are sharing the idea, something they are sharing. So that is on basis of sharing of group. On basis of strategy, so we make different strategies in the organization, and conflict can arise on basis of the strategies which are made in the organization. Now, again, on basis of strategy, it can be divided into two different things, that is competitive and cooperative. Competitive conflict is marked by the desire to win the fight or argument, even if the winning cost more and causes more pain than not fighting at all. Here you can say that ego plays a very important and major role. Competitive means they just have the competition and desire to win over that situation. They are least bothered that if they are going to win the situation, even if they win, then the cost of winning is going to be much more. The pain of winning is going to be much more than not fighting at all. These type of conflict are so egoistic. These people who have these, who faces this competitive conflict, they are so egoistic that they do not accept the losing thing. They are not ready to lose anything. They simply focus on winning at any cost. We might have heard that proverb saying, by hook or crook, I just want to win this. So for them, for these competitive conflict, the parties involved in competitive conflict, they just have one desire to win. It can be winning the fight, it can be winning the argument. For winning the argument, they may say some bad words, they can do anything to just win that. They don't even think that their words, their winning can cause lot of pain, lot of losses to other party, but still they are not ready to give up on that. They just want to fight. They're not ready to sacrifice the fight, even knowing that without fighting we can come to the solution. Without fighting we can stop causing pain to other person, and we can have best possible solution. But for them, competition is everything which matters, that I have to win this situation with by competition only. No matter whatever happens, what are the results, they are least bothered, least concerned. The only matter for them is to win at any cost. Second, a cooperative approach aligns with the process of interest based or integrative bargaining, which lead parties to seek win-win situation. This is a very smooth, very easygoing conflict. In this approach, when a conflict is solved using this cooperative approach, as the word suggests, cooperative. Cooperation means working by mutual understanding, doing something what other person like and doing something what you like. So that is cooperation. In organization, in team, we have cooperation within the team members, right? We have cooperation within the organization also. So same way, cooperative approach is that approach which focuses on bargaining, which focuses on coming to a common solution where interest of both the parties are taken into consideration, and both of them seeks win-win situation. It's not win or lose for anyone, it is not lose-lose for anyone, it is just win-win situation for both the parties involved in that discussion. In cooperative situation, the goals are so linked that everybody shrinks and swims together. So what they're saying, that in cooperative situation, the goals are linked with each other. So they just want to find the best alternative where they are shrinking and they are swimming. They are coming out together. They doesn't want anyone to just stay in middle of the water. They doesn't want anyone to shrink. They want that, yes, together we are going to swim, and together we are going to achieve by giving win-win situation to both the parties. While in the competitive situation, if one swims, the other must sink. It is completely opposite to what cooperative approach aligns with. It focuses on shrinking one person, it just want to come out. They prefer that, yes, whatever happened, if someone is bearing losses, someone is bearing pain, it's not our concern. We are least concerned about that. The only thing we have to do is we just have to swim. The tough competition, the tough ego, the very strong feeling of winning that argument, winning that fight is there with competitive conflict. So on basis of strategy, we have again divided the conflicts into two different parts, that is competitive and cooperative. Now the last one, on basis of rights and interest. So On basis of right, the conflicts are again divided on basis of rights and the interest of the people. So conflict of right means where people are granted certain rights by law or by contract or by previous agreement or established practice. When you join the organization, there are some rules, some rights, some written documents which you get. The rules made by the law, the rules made by the organization, or the rules which are specifically written in your agreement. So if person goes up against that, if an organization makes some rules which are against these granted right, then the conflict happens for the right. Right means the things which was not there in the contract, which was not there in the previous agreement, in which the law doesn't allow, and all of a sudden bringing that thing is against their right. So in this situation, again, the conflict of right happens, and people have conflict with the organization or with the leader who is going against those rights, laws, contract, agreements established between them and the organization. Conflict of interest means where a person or a group demands certain privileges, but there is no law or right in existence. So interest means you are interested. You just uh, want to get something. You want to get certain privilege. You want to you have some demands which you want the organization to fulfill, but there is no such right, there is no such law to get that thing. That is not into existence. So here, this conflict of interest dispute you can solve by negotiation or collective bargaining, where both the parties can talk to each other and come to a common and specific solution. That is solving the conflict of interest with the team members. So here on basis of right, there are two different conflicts that on basis of rights and interest, there are conflicts, that is conflict of right and conflict of interest. Now with this, we have finished all the types of conflict which are there in the organization. So it can be your conflict on basis of involvement, that is interpersonal, organizational. Then on basis of scope, it can be substantive and effective. Then on basis of result, it can be constructive, it can be destructive. And same as constructive and destructive, we have conflict on basis of sharing. You know, if you were listening, you might have noticed that distributive and integrative conflict are somewhat similar to destructive and constructive. So on basis of sharing, we have distributive and integrative. Distributed mean distribution, distributing the resources, and the one who get the resources, who get the benefit is in the winning zone and other loses. But integrated is something where the need and concern of both the parties are checked, and on basis of that, the decision is taken to solve the conflict. There, it's not win-win or not win-lose situation for either of the parties. A mutually collective decision is being taken by both the parties. Then on basis of strategy, they have competitive and cooperative. Competitive strategy, you can simply keep that in mind by one simple proverb which says, by hook or crook, I just want to win. That is competitive. And cooperative strategy means with cooperation, mutual understanding, you figure out something, you find the best possible path, and you work on that. And the last one is on basis of right and interest. So right says the things which are being permitted by your agreement, by law, that is the conflict, that is on basis of right, the conflict may arise if someone goes against that. And conflict of interest means though those things are not mentioned in your agreement, there are no such laws by the government, but still You demand for those things that can be settled down by mutual understanding, by mutual negotiation and bargaining between two parties. So these are the different types of conflict on basis of involvement, strategies, interest, groups, resolution of conflict. Now, in the next session, we will be discussing about three broad different types of conflict, that is task, relationship, and value. What are task conflict, what is relationship conflict, and what is value conflict? So these we will be discussing in the next session of conflict
Ma'am,
management. Yes.
is S3R, ma'am, like in task, what are the conflicts come in relationship? What are the conflicts comes in an organization?
Hmm.
Like regarding the values, what are the conflicts comes? Are we going to
Yes.
discuss about that, ma'am?
Yes, we'll be discussing about these three in the next session.
Okay.
Okay, so task as in a person was willing to get that task, but someone else got that task. Yes, that I should have got this, but others been delegated. So there are the small conflicts which keep on happening in the organization. So we'll be discussing in detail about those three conflicts in the next session of conflict management. Any doubts?
No, ma'am. It was clear.
No? Okay. So we are
But
done with the
once
session.
again, I'll have a look to the conflict because I couldn't hear properly, ma'am. So I'll just again I'll see this video and I'll come back to the next class, ma'am.
Yes, sure, sure. You can come back to me in the next session if you have any doubt. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, dear. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye. Welcome. And now, today we have three more sessions lined up for the day. That is virtual team building and management, which will start at 2:30. Then we have anger management, where we will be discussing about how to blow off your anger. And next, after that, we have motivation theories, where we'll be discussing about Herzberg theory of motivation. Yes, we're done with the session. Bye bye. Take care. Have a great